I really just created this from my mind, and like I'm holding like something that no one else has ever had before. It was 1,000,001 steps to get there.
You didn't stick to the status quo.
Like I didn't hit puberty until like end of grade 12. So first day of school, I get a call or text. He's like, oh, come to my office. He's like, I want you to have this role, but realistically, you're not going to play unless you put on a lot more size. My redshirt year, I went from 185 pounds to 225 pounds. I was just like in the gym, lifting weights a ton. I got pretty athletic. Puberty hit. It really worked out.
What was like the idea to start a product-based business?
I was struggling with certain things in my life, and I was trying like just about everything from like caffeine, nicotine. I wasn't finding something that felt like I was getting everything I wanted from it. Went down this rabbit hole and I stumbled into adaptogens, which are natural ingredients. You're a new brand, so you can be whatever you want to be, but you don't know what you want to be. Not just a supplement brand, it's like a real community, and that's what we wanted to create. I was in my kitchen and my parents walked in on me with like a milligram scale weighing stuff out with rubber gloves, and they thought I was like making drugs. Maybe I could sell this.
What's the most amount of context that I would need to know about your life for me to understand why you're here right now?
Why I'm here, okay. I've grown up playing basketball a lot, so that was a bit of my identity. Played university basketball, student at like university. I own 2 businesses, and I create content, I guess. That's like kind of like the most to the point, but it's been a very winding path type journey, and it's kind of been a full circle, like moment of starting something, and then you kind of end up back where you started, and you take all the forks in the road. But yeah, so that's kind of like a bit of context. I don't know if that's deep
that helps.
enough, but
That helps. We'll get deeper.
We're gonna dive into this story.
Okay.
And I'm definitely curious, but for some initial context, what is a key characteristic that like got you in the position you are today? Even whether that's sports or from a business standpoint.
I think key characteristic would be I like to ask a lot of questions, and I guess you guys are asking the questions today, but I think I'm a pretty curious guy, and
Curiosity.
It has helped me in a lot of ways that I didn't think it would, and it's more so just like genuine curiosity, not necessarily to gain things, but probably that, or like just liking to make stuff.
Are you curious about everything or just like certain niches of
It's
topics?
like the most random things to everything. Like you could ask my girlfriend or my parents, I'm like, they get annoyed. Like I ask the most dumb questions and it's so pointless half the time, but I just really like to ask questions. And
Was that from childhood as well?
yeah. I think I just don't like to not know.
Yeah. So where should we start? What's the best like piece of context here that we should start with? You did you played basketball for 7 years or in university, and I'm sure you played before as well. You have a business side to you. You've graduated now. Enter the quote unquote the real world, even though we've always been in the real world. What has been the most enjoyable part of all that?
I would say it's difficult to like put a pinpoint on it, but the overall experience has been the best part for me, at least. For instance, I played university basketball, which was great. I had never intended to, and it kind of worked out to be that way. And I think it's taken me along this like really great ride of being in school, getting to travel around, make new friends, switch degrees, like I said, and then end up doing things I never thought. Like I started like this business or doing a swimming pool business. Like that's cool and all, but it's just been like this whole journey of everything along the ride kind of stacking and taking me to where I am now. And it's just going to continue being that way. But like that's the overall best part, I think, of the whole thing.
You didn't stick to the status quo. Like you were already doing a lot. You were a student athlete, and I can only imagine being in a science degree with the amount of commitment that's involved with that, and training 4 to 5 times a week. On top of that, you're doing business. You're starting a business. I'm curious why.
So the first business was a pool business, okay? Swimming pool maintenance, okay?
Yeah.
Very random. It's like
still
a
in that
seasonal thing. Still in it. Yeah, it's busy season right now. So I started that because originally I was working for a pool company, and it was actually an old teammate of mine. He owned this company with a partner, and I realized I kept on asking him like, how much are you guys like charging these people? And I was just doing the math. I'm like, okay, I felt like I was getting a little ripped off. But eventually, this partner, his name's Joel, and he was going to Columbia for law school, in New York, and I think he was selling the shares to the partner. But originally he came to me, he's like, "Oh, you want to buy into the business?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, like cool, it'd be a good like summer gig for a student," and didn't work out, and I was like, screw it, like I want to do this anyways, and so I kind of just started it, and just kind of figured it out along the way, and it's nice. Like I ended up making more than 18 an hour, so it was good. But that's kind of why.
And when did you start this?
I started this 4 years ago. Okay. Going into my 4th year.
Okay.
I guess why I started business was like, again, I was doing microbiome for a while, and I always felt like it wasn't the right thing. My parents would always tell me, "Oh, you have great hands to be a doctor or a surgeon," and I found classes interesting, but I didn't have like a enjoyment out of it. And every year that like it was 2.5 years that passed. So as the time went on, I was kind of getting less into it, and I'd sit there with one of my best friends at the time, and we'd be like, just be talking the whole time. We're like the guys in the back of the class, just screwing around, and I'm like, "Okay, what am I doing?" And so I was like, "Okay, I should probably try to get something out of this." And so I switched into business, and I'm like, if I'm doing business, I should try to like start a business. Why not? And yeah, it's kind of how it worked.
When the idea of inception to action, right? It's a big step, and seeing your friends make money with the pool business.
Yeah.
What was it like getting your first customer with the pool system?
It's probably like one of the best feelings ever in terms of anything business wise. It's like your first customer, first sale. Yep. I remember I was just going like door to door. I was like, I had no idea how to sell at all. So I'm like knocking, I'm like, "Hi." But I just remember it was like winning the lottery. I like walked down that doorstep. It was like biggest grin on my face. And then I proceeded to get like 50 no's after that. But I was like,
best feeling in the world, right? You're like,
it's like unmatched.
Yeah.
Door knocking's tough, man. Door knocking isn't for the weak. That's a tough game. How many doors did you knock on before you had to get your first yes? And what was that process like? Like you decided you're gonna run, and you're like, I need customers.
A couple hours, so it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
It was actually like a street away from me too, which is super like convenient. I was like saying, "I can just come here whenever you need me to do 24. You can have my number," kind of thing, and yeah, it was pretty soon. So it helped out. I think it was kind of encouraging that it was like a earlier yes than.
So what services were you offering when you started? Was it just like?
Yeah, it's like openings, closings. So like after winter, right before winter, and then like maintenance. Cool. We kept it basically the same.
Yeah.
I don't want to like involve myself in like doing like the electrical work and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Did you have prior you had prior experience?
Yeah, it's like I've known how to. Yeah, I was working for like a year or two beforehand doing it. So I felt like I was like, okay, I know how to do it. So it was still kind of stressful. I was like, I remember watching like tons of YouTube videos like the day before I went to opening. We had our first one. We were trying to start the pump for like draining water off. And I was like there for an hour and I couldn't start the pump. And it's like the first thing you need to do. And I just bought the machine too. And I'm like standing here like,
the person's looking out of the window.
Literally, he was at home. I'm like, bro, this is bad. So we like left, and I found out I didn't put oil in the machine. I'm like, oh, okay. I felt like an idiot, but you learn. It was a good lesson. So,
do you have any other stories in terms of like the grind phase of that to like start it off? Like you got your first customer, and then did the ball start rolling right away? Did it take some time? You said you proceeded to get 50 no's after that. Like
I think it started to roll fairly fast, but it was a very stressful bit because it was like I didn't find out that I wasn't able to buy into business, and I thought I was going to maybe like a month before like pool season started. So it was like a big scramble of like, okay, I need to open up a website, I need to buy all this equipment. Am I even gonna make enough money to cover this? But it went a lot better than I thought. I think in your head you think it's like you feel super stressed, but looking back I think it was really, really smooth. For a fun fact, Winnipeg's like the pool capita, or most pools per capita in Canada. I think.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah,
I did not know that. I don't have a pool.
Did you go on Google Maps on like and you can see?
I was doing like aerial view, and I had like I had my iPad out, and I was like circling the houses, but I didn't know what number they were at first. So I was like walking around with a physical map, looking at like the house. I'm like, this looks about right. I was like counting how many like houses it was from like the street end. And I'm like, how do you know I have a pool? I'm like.
I was in it last week. Did you ever knock on a door that didn't have a pool?
Probably, yeah. I remember knocking on one and they're like, oh yeah, we actually got our pool like filled with concrete like a year ago, so it made sense. Like Google Earth didn't catch it, but like nowadays it's pretty good. If anyone's looking to do anything like a pool business wise, you can literally. So at least for Winnipeg, there's like a registry of all the houses, like all properties, and it tells you like if it has a pool or not. So you can download a giant Excel file of every property in Winnipeg, and it'll tell you what address has it. So you can go to every single one. You can put it in like Claude or ChatGPT. It gives you a route. Save a lot of time.
Smart move. Were you worried about like competition with
not really, like no.
Is there enough?
I mean, there's a lot of like companies, but it's like I think there's enough pools to cover. I told my old boss, I'm like, I wasn't gonna steal his customers. He's a really good guy, and he was actually helping me out even though I left. So his name's Ryan. He's really cool. I still hit him with some questions here and there. He's like, yeah, I got you if you ever need. So
that's so cool.
I feel like it's pretty friendly between like the other competitors. No one like that I know is like you kind of thing. So we're all just trying to make some money.
Yeah. How's that different from on the basketball court?
I think it depends on the player. Like you said, you talked to Mason not too long ago. I know Mason likes to chirp a little bit and he gets under people's skin. I haven't had many like experiences where people are like talking too much trash, but it is a bit different. Like you might be shoving some people here and there, but it is definitely different for sure. But there's players like I was playing Brandon. I remember we're in Brandon and my shoe literally exploded on me, which is like weird. Like it was fourth quarter, 5-ish minutes left, and like the sole where the balls of my feet were ripped off, and like so my foot was against like the wood. It was a close game, and I played the game with it like after, but then I was talking to another player, his name's Sultan, and he ended up giving me a pair of his shoes to play him the next day, and we ended up beating him in the shoes, and he's like, oh, you can just keep them. So some people are like cool like that.
But it's like when you're going door to door knocking, and you know sometimes they're saying yes, sometimes they're saying no. I'm sure there were moments where you're like, what the fuck am I doing? Like screw this. Was it? Did being disciplined with basketball keep you on the path of like, you know what, the fruit will come. Let me just keep working.
I think maybe subconsciously. I think it was more so the fact I was like, I need this many houses or else I'm losing money. So I was like, kind of just forcing myself to go. But probably subconsciously, I feel like basketball definitely helps with build like some sort of work ethic with any sport or any like just extracurricular where you're showing up every so often or things like that. So
were you analytical about your door knocking and being like, okay, I have to knock 200 houses, so I'm going to get 1 yes or 3 yeses, and that's going to equal X amount of dollars?
I was like, okay, if I'm doing this for 3 hours and I get 1 yes, 1 yes could potentially be anywhere from $300 lifetime value to, like, I've had one of my first yeses has been with me all 4 years. And so each year they probably contribute maybe 3,000 or 4,000. So pretty good. Go around for 3 hours, you get X amount of so
you did.
It's a good numbers game. Like especially when you're down, it's like you're cold. You've been walking around. You're like, I've been out here for 8 hours, but if I have 4 yeses, then you're making a lot more than
$18.
At what point did they go from door knocking and switch to more of like a upscale business, and now they're coming to you, or word of mouth is spreading?
I think Winnipeg especially, word of mouth is everything, and I tried to kind of pride myself in doing a good job, and like having the guys that work with me, there's a bit of pride behind it. You're keeping someone's property clean. It's no different than if you're like cutting someone's lawn, giving someone a haircut even, or anything of that nature. And it's like you feel good. It's very therapeutic in a way. Like you're sitting there kind of just like listening to music cleaning, but it's like you not only are getting rewarded for it, but you can see someone come out and be like this looks nice. Like I'm having a party tonight. Like like thank you. And I think after the first year that really helped. Like some of the customers would tell their neighbors like, oh, this guy, he's the pool guy. He's really cool. People will come out and they talk to you. And I think that's the point where it kind of went to the next level, which was nice. Just took some time, but
You mentioned the first sale, but do you also remember the first hire?
Yeah, I remember. It was one of my friends actually. I was just trying to like have someone work with me, and I remember I was training him, and I was recording on Snapchat, do you guys like edit?
Yeah, of course.
I remember he's like one of my friends, and I was like sitting in a lawn chair. I was making fun of him, and I like recorded. And I was like, "This is modern slavery." And it's like a white guy like cleaning out. Like, but yeah, I remember the first sale. Yeah. It was cool. Like, I could, or first hire. It was the coolest thing was being able to know like you don't necessarily have to be there, and you can kind of focus on other things. But yeah, it was good. It helped me kind of put what I knew into words. It's kind of like if you're like a tutor, if you try to tutor someone, it also helps you learn. So it's kind of like the same thing.
Agreed.
Is that where you realize that you have to build systems behind this business?
Yeah.
By systems, what I mean is like training processes, or
Mm-hmm.
you know what, you don't have to be there doing the physical labor. Like you could be your friend could be in one spot, you could be at the other house, right?
Right.
And like, is that where the business mind started
I
developing
think so,
a little bit more?
yeah. Because at first it was just like I was just making a job for myself, right?
Exactly.
And to an extent, it still kind of is like that. But I feel like when you have ways to kind of get out of it, that's when it really becomes more of a business, right? But
Can you talk about scale? How many houses you guys did?
Yeah,
Like,
so, like,
how it grew over the 4 years.
first couple of years, I remember I had like sent in some application and we were talking about it. But I think first year we doubled, and then the next year we tripled. And this year, not tripled. I think we grew 40% after that. So this year it should be more, which is nice. So it's kind of just slowly compounding more and more.
Yeah.
It's good.
What's the most difficult part of pool cleaning?
Most difficult part is I'd say opening the pools.
Okay.
You walk in, some people have like, it's like stagnant water from all summer, and it's just like stinky, smells like poo. Sometimes like when you're actually just doing the maintenance after, like it's middle of summer, like you might see like a dead animal in the skimmer basket or in the pool, which is pretty nasty. I remember one time I saw like a baby rabbit, and it was like dead, and it was all nasty, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. And I called my boss back then. I'm like, I can't do this. It was too much. But that's probably the worst part. It's a pretty chill job though.
Do you get those calls now?
Luckily there hasn't been any dead rabbits.
Okay.
So normally it's like frogs.
Yeah,
So,
okay. Solid frog.
What's something that you weren't expecting about this business, or even running a business in itself?
It's all the random things that you have to like learn to do.
Yeah.
Whether it's like learning how to do marketing, or making a website, or getting a call at 8 o'clock while you're watching a movie because something isn't working, and then you have to go fix it. I think those are like it's the unexpected things that always seem to be, the thing that you expect least will happen is probably going to happen. And I think it's just like learning how to do and learn everything.
I want to touch on the basketball stuff because I think that's a very interesting story. Because you said you weren't expecting to play, or you weren't intending to play in university.
Yeah.
What changed? How did that happen?
So I went in high school. I was telling someone today, like I didn't hit puberty until like end of grade 12. So I was like pre-pubescent Cierán. I was still tall, but I was like not athletic. I could still play basketball, but I wasn't like super good or anything. And I was gonna graduate, and I was like, I played varsity and everything, but I was like, no, I wasn't hearing from any coaches, and I wasn't like sending film out. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to school. And I didn't really think twice about it. I was just like, this is my life, and it didn't bother me at all. It was just like how it was.
You accepted it.
Yeah. And I was at a club tournament, and it was like probably March-ish, and this guy from the owner of Zuke, his name's Ogo.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, where are you playing university basketball? Like college? I'm like, I look at him weird. He's like, what team? I'm like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, he's like, where are you playing? I'm like, I'm just going to school, man. And he's like, oh, why don't you play at U of M? I'm like, no one's told me anything about this. And so he's like, oh, like I knew who the coach was because he helps out in camps and sometimes. So I sent him an email, and I'm like, hey, I'm looking at coming to U of M anyways. Could I have a tryout or something? And he's like, oh yeah, my brother used to play on the team as well. And he's like, oh, your brother's a good guy, kind of thing. I think that's why he probably gave me a chance. And he's like, yeah, just come to our runs. And then I went throughout the summer. I was just kind of like playing. And then end of summer comes, and he invites me to what's it called? Like it's like your preseason, it's like summer camp or like training camp. So he invites me to training camp, and I'm like, okay, cool. Go to training camp. I was just getting cooked. Like I was getting like it was bad. Like, and I was like, okay, like, like I'm guarding like all the fifth years, just doing my best out there. And Like, okay, it was a good experience. And then first day of school, I was walking back from one of my classes with two of my friends, and I get a call or text from Kirby, and he's like, "Oh, come to my office." I'm like, "Uh-oh." And he ended up telling me I'd make the team. And he's like, "Yeah, you're going to join the team as a redshirt." I was like, "Cool." I didn't really expect to be making the team. And he's like, "I want you to have this role, but realistically, you're not going to play unless you put on a lot more size." I was probably, at this point, I was like 6'4", probably 185 pounds. I was pretty skinny, I'd say. And I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, you need to work on your shooting, your game overall, but you need to just become bigger. Because I get bullied, basically. And so I was like, cool. And so that first year, my redshirt year, I went from 185 pounds to 225 pounds, so 40-ish pounds. Yeah. And I was just like in the gym, just lifting weights a ton. I got pretty athletic and puberty hit, and so that helped me out a lot. And then kind of cut down, and each year kind of progressed. So I redshirted. First year, I didn't really play that much, but one of the other guys in my position was suspended for a year. He played in a league that he wasn't supposed to, and it turned out bad, and it kind of worked to my favor. And so I got like maybe 5 minutes a game, and then the next year I got like 10 minutes, and then my third year I was starting, and then just went up from there, and it really worked out. It was cool to see. I ended up playing like a center-ish role. I was kind of undersized, but I kind of took pride in just playing defense, and I could switch a lot of ball screen, and I was just getting rebounds. It was unglorious, but it turned out good and got me on the court. So yeah, it was a good experience, and the best part about it was like we came in as a really young group, probably like 6 guys, and we all kind of stuck together, and we got to travel. Last year he took us to Portugal and Spain, and we got to like do that all over Canada, and it's like you get to see all these different players, different towns, different cities, and it's an unmatched feeling just being able to do this and also play basketball at the same time.
Why'd you stick with it? Like when you got redshirt, right? So you're not playing, you're told that you have to put on size, but you're still part of the team. And like, to me, I played soccer, and when I would get cut, that would be the worst feeling ever. Or when I would get benched, that would be the worst feeling ever of like, oh shit, I didn't work hard enough or whatnot. Why'd you stick with it? Like, was there a deeper passion for basketball, or did you know this was like your purpose? Or
the short answer, no. I don't think there was like, I'm not someone that was like, I love basketball so much. And if you do, that's great. But like being a redshirt like blows. Like you're a practice player. Whenever a player wants to get on the court, he's like, get off. And if anyone's been in that position, it does suck. And it weeds out a lot of people. I remember one of my assistant coaches, Donnie, he's like, Cierán, just stick with it. Because I think every player kind of goes through like, I don't want to do this anymore. And so I guess I just kind of trust the process. I don't really know how I ended up continuing, but through God's grace, I guess. It was something to do. It was like, I like to be busy, and I was getting to be active. It was fun to like go to games, have the games. You got to travel a little bit. And it was just, I think the guys really made it. Like it was probably, it's been my favorite team I've ever played on. And like just sitting in the locker room, just like fooling around, like the amount of like dumb things that would happen that we can't talk about, or else I'd probably go to jail. That kept me probably going. And it's like the coaching was great. And I don't know why though, maybe that, but there was no deeper like burning desire. I never wanted to go to NBA. I don't like, so.
You never know.
I think I know. I know. I'll go to NBA. Those dreams are long gone.
What's the biggest difference between playing high school and then playing in university?
I think it's like the expectation from coaching in terms of like fitting a system. A lot of guys who are more skilled than one player might not play just because they don't understand the plays. Maybe they're not contributing in the way that coach wants them to contribute. And I think that's the biggest difference. It's like the talent level obviously is a lot higher, but it's like, it's so much more of a team game once you get there. And people don't always realize there's like a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, watching film or like scouting out other teams. But I think it's that trying to like fitting in and accepting like sometimes you're going to be doing what you don't want to be doing. And if you want to get on the court, that's what you have to do. I think in high school, it's a lot easier to like, you can jack up some shots here and there, or like, if you don't know the play, like the coach might yell at you a little bit, but probably nothing bad will happen. But like, I think in university, I've seen it with certain guys. It's like, they're really, really good players, but they just weren't understanding what the coach wanted, and they wouldn't play at all. And it's unfortunate, but that's just how it is.
Yeah. You seem very acceptance of the realities of life, right?
Yeah, okay.
And what I mean by that is like, you trust the process. Like, you know, Redshirt sucks. You're gonna trust it and accept it and know that eventually it'll take you there. Have you always been like that?
I think so. I have it's super corny, but on my phone it's like, it's super corny actually.
No,
it's
dude.
like trust the process. There you go. So I think it just like, if you want to get somewhere, it's probably not like the easiest. Like doing, if you have a big goal, it's a lot of things you're gonna have to eat shit probably a lot, and it's like, I think just understanding like that it's gonna get better kind of helps you get through it. So I'd say for a while, I think especially like learning when I gained a lot of weight and like changed my body, I think that was the first time I really saw myself being able to do something in terms of like, I have a vision and I make it happen. And I think as I could directly see like a physical change, I began to realize like, it's not just physical things that you can do mental kind of metamorphoses, I don't know. And I think that helped a lot.
Was there a moment you actually had to remind yourself of trusting the process?
Every day, man. every day. Especially with Amani, it's like, we have a grand vision, and there's no clear roadmap of what to do because it's your own brand.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's like the same with the podcast. It's like, you can do other things and there's no clear cut way to be where you guys want to be. And so it's just like reminding ourselves, like, this is the fun part. It's like, not many people know of us yet, but this is like where the fun is. We're going to look back at this when 5, 10, 20 years from now and be like, remember those days we used to be stressed out about finding X, Y, and Z? And we're like, yeah, like there's nothing compared to now. So every day.
Yeah, of course.
It's so tough though, man, being in the moments, you know, when we like to say like everything's a roller coaster. So when you're on the top of the roller coaster, everything's like perfect. But when you're at the valley, shit just sucks. Like podcast goes missing or a clip doesn't record properly, and we're like, oh, what the fuck? Like,
yeah. I remember, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I remember in terms of roller coasters, I remember I was going on a trip with my family for a month. Okay. This was last year, a year and a half ago. And I think it was last summer. And our manufacturer was dropping off our boxes and bottles for the product, and we're supposed to show up right before I left, and nothing happened. I'm like, okay. And as we're at the airport, I get a picture from someone was doing some maintenance on our house, and I kid you not, the whole front of the house was just covered in boxes. And we're about to like get on the flight, and I was like chilling. I'm like, okay, I could just like lean back, watch some movies, and like, I can't just leave this on my front. And it turned into a huge. We figured it out, but it really is a roller coaster, right? When you think everything's good.
Did you get on a plane?
I got on the plane, yeah.
I thought this was going to be like,
I got some good friends, and a good girlfriend too. So
that's a roller coaster and a half. But those are like moments that like I think you almost forget, because as much as you don't want to, like, you know, sometimes like it takes like actual effort for me to like think back of what like version 1 of this show looks like, because I don't like it looks like this now. And more focused on what the next step is rather than what it was. What was like the idea to start a product-based business now? Because you've already done the service stuff.
I think the idea came from, my friend was house sitting for someone, and we're going through this guy's drawers kind of thing. Not really like snooping around, but he was like, help yourself to things. And at the time I was really into health, nutrition, and I was struggling with certain things in my life, and I was trying like just about everything from like caffeine. I still drink coffee now, but like caffeine, nicotine, some drugs, not all. And I wasn't finding something that felt like felt like I was getting everything I wanted from it. And I would come down crashing, or I'd use things and I wouldn't feel good about it. and I stumbled into, this was at this person's house. I started thinking, and I kind of went down this rabbit hole, and I stumbled into adaptogens, which are natural ingredients, and I like to describe them as like plants basically that help you regulate your stress response. So it's like almost like a thermostat. So when you get your stress spikes, the adaptogens kind of bring you back down to your baseline. You have like no crash and no dependency on it. And so I kind of started going down another rabbit hole and figuring out ingredients I could just take for myself. And this was all just for myself at first. And I remember I was in my kitchen and my parents walked in on me with like a milligram scale weighing stuff out with rubber gloves. And they thought I was like making drugs. And they were really concerned. I'm like, no, trust me, it's a supplement for me. Yeah. But anyways, I started liking it and I enjoyed the product, but I thought like, this could be placebo kind of thing. Like it's natural ingredients. And so I asked some friends, they liked it and they started asking me for more. And this is where it kind of clicked. I'm like, maybe I could sell this. Maybe I could turn this into something. I like health. I like wellness, fitness. Mm-hmm. And so I figured it'd be fun to make something. It's a whole different process of doing a service. And so it was 1,000,001 steps to get there, but that's kind of how it came across, and it kind of developed into what is now Amani.
What did you find at that guy's house?
He had a bunch of like microdose capsules, psilocybin, a lot of other stuff. But I was just looking around. I was like into that kind of stuff then. Yeah. But I was like, this also isn't illegal. This is illegal. And I was like, okay, maybe we can do something for the community that's not healthier. Illegal.
Yeah. So, like that. And so you're just like in your kitchen, just like mixing ingredients?
Yeah. Like I literally bought from like this place called Nootropics Depot. Okay. And there's a bunch of different powders. And I was like, okay. At first I was trying to make it into a drink and it tasted like garbage, like actually garbage. And so I put it into capsules and then eventually changed the formula. And I kind of like got it to where I thought it was good. And then I had to go through Health Canada. I had to apply for a natural product number, do like all of our claims, and then find manufacturers, and then find supply, like logistics, like everything, like shipping and everything. But it was, again, that one was, the Health Canada thing was the hardest. It's like a Government of Canada website, and it's not the easiest to understand, and like you have to pay a lot of money to apply. So, but it all worked out. So,
how much R&D did you do for this?
Like probably like money wise, time wise,
both.
Time was probably from the point of like idea until actually like physical capsule from manufacturer, probably a year and a half. And then money wise, just for like I'd say for like the Health Canada application, I'd say around 2,500 to 3,000. And then you have to pay for manufacturing. That's a lot bigger number. But yeah, it took some time and some money, but I was like, okay, this is something I want to do. So
were you worried about the risk at all?
Yeah. It's especially when you have a higher MOQ, minimum order quantity. It's like you don't necessarily know if something's going to sell, and like I probably went about it not the right way. We didn't start up like a email subscription list or pre-order list, and so we just like went all in, and we're like, okay, probably would have been smarter to do something else. But
how much inventory did you buy first?
It was like 500 to start with, and like you don't know if you're gonna go through it, but just did it and then didn't look back. But it's all good.
How much research did you do when you were?
I'd say quite a bit. I was drafting like pages and pages. It felt like I was doing like a school project almost, but it was in my own time, which was cool. That's I was into it. Yeah, literally microbiome. I was like writing some sort of like thesis. Great, but
did you ever use that as a part? Of course, you have to.
So I'd switched. This was as I had switched into business.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about business is, or Asper at least, there's a lot of group projects, and so the best part about it was like I got like free workers, and so that's how we came up with the name Amani. One of my group mates, we were trying to like, it was international marketing, and I had the product, like just the capsules I was making at home. I was like, okay, we need a name for this, for like the project, and we had a million names, and they didn't sound good. And then this girl's named Daisy. She's like, oh, Amani. I'm like, that sounds nice. What does it mean though? And she said it means peace in Swahili. I'm like, oh, perfect. And she's like, it's also my dad's name. Like, it's all good. And so we stuck with it.
Wow. Great. Explain that story to me a little bit, like how you brought it to your group. to do this product, and like I could just I'm envisioning it, and I'm like, this guy pulls out a random pill and he's like, oh, we should
You're
do
crowdfunding
this.
before crowdfunding.
So that was I've probably done it like 4 times throughout my, maybe 4 or 5 for like 5 final projects. People are surprisingly receptive to it. I feel like I came off as knowing what I was talking about, which helped out more. And I was like, you know what, guys, I have like a good idea. Like, I've been working on one group I did, and this was before we had the box. I was like, I gave it something like Ziploc bags,
Nice.
and it was like super sus. Like, trust me, I'll take it first, and then you guys do it. And everyone was cool with it. I never had anyone that was like, at least said at that point, like, actually, no, we shouldn't. And I guess I got a little lucky, but people are super receptive and surprisingly open to working on something that's, I think it's actually, it makes sense if I think about it. It's because it's like, no one wants to be doing group projects, but if like someone's like saying, oh, I want to do this as my business, like I think people make a bit more effort because they're like, oh, this person actually cares.
So these were final projects for like classes that you had to submit.
Yeah.
And then you used what you and the group did to actually implement it?
Yeah. So the first one was like international marketing. So it was like, I don't even know how she let me use it as a project, but I think she was just like, the professor was like, okay, go ahead. And it had nothing to do with international marketing. And so we just showed like what we were building.
Yeah.
We did one that was marketing research. And so we got to use a bunch of softwares, and we did like a bunch of research questions and like did surveying. That was pretty cool, figuring out like colors to go with, what people like preferred in terms of product and problem. I've done, it's like competitor analyses between companies like Seed, Array, things like that. I've done, what else? There's marketing, lots of marketing. I don't think the finance people were open to a startup for that, but
how'd you do on the projects?
Good.
Yeah.
I did very well. A pluses, man. A pluses.
Nice.
I think the profs liked it too. It's more engaging for students too, because most classes people are like, and so
I'm curious, man. So like you go from this idea of like, okay, I want to start like making supplements for myself. Obviously, you do this whole research, go on this rabbit hole. At what point were you ever scared of trying the formulations that you were mixing? Like, I mean,
not really.
It's natural.
Yeah, there's like nothing. There's nothing. There might have been some like things like how they interact could have been bad, but I just didn't really think of that. I just like pop it in.
So can you get custom like capsule, like DIY capsule makers, or like how does it work?
So originally, like when I was first just doing it for myself, I had like it's called like a capsule filling machine.
Okay.
So imagine like a flat slate.
Yep.
It has little holes in it.
Yeah.
And you just put your powders over.
Well, there's stuff that you see on Instagram.
Yeah,
great
that.
videos. Great videos.
Yeah, and then I just like have to mix up the different powders to try to make it like a homogeneous mixture. But obviously, I wasn't doing it correctly, so I just like I'd weigh it out, like make it work the best it could. But it turned out.
And this is in your living room?
This is in the kitchen.
Yeah. What did your family say about this?
They were like concerned. I think my dad was really concerned. He's like, I raised a drug dealer. I think he was like quite upset.
Cutting up
just like cry. No, he wasn't crying. But I think I saw it because I had like rubber gloves on. I had like a milligram scale, and then I think I responded in a good way. I'm like, oh, this is just supplements. Like, and I showed them it. And then they went about their day. I think if they saw like some like really sus stuff, they would have been like really freaked out. But at first they're like, what the hell? And then after that, they're like, okay. We'll let him. I feel like I was always doing like random things anyways. So
I can just imagine like walking in and the parents seeing you cooking up. They lose their mind, man. My brown parents would beat my ass. Like, they were like, our son's gone.
Like, what have I done? I failed as a parent. Like,
Oh, I could just imagine that. Walk me through the process of marketing this thing, coming up with the plan and the vision that you had.
Okay. The most fun and hardest part at the same time is you're a new brand, so you can be whatever you want to be, and you are whatever you want to be, but you don't know what you want to be or who you want to be for. And so we decided that originally we wanted to be marketing. I like to describe it towards the kind of West Coast yoga girl, yoga mom kind of vibe. And so
Pilates girl.
Yeah, Pilates girl.
Yeah.
And so like the marketing plan originally was to straight go on Instagram, just make a bunch of content, and we were doing that, and like it wasn't like working really well. And so we kind of did a little bit of a pivot, and we continued to make content. We found it our kind of struggle was whether we wanted to be like founder forward or not on the social presence, especially if we're two men in front of a mostly woman audience. And so we've tried and played around with it, but what we found works really well with us in terms of brand building is events and community events. And so we run monthly. We started this December with the community events in December. We launched in September 2025. And every month we do community events kind of in the health and wellness space. So think like yoga, Pilates, sound baths. We're going to do a retreat kind of thing, confidence building classes, spin classes, paint nights, anything of that nature. And so what we find is working really well is you're bringing a lot of people into a room to have an experience with the brand hands-on. It's not just, it becomes not just a supplement brand at this point, it's like a real community. And that's what we wanted to create in the first place. And so it's great because people get positive experiences, at least we're hoping. They have a chance sometimes to try the supplement out, and then they get like a feel of what it is to kind of take, that's how I like to market it, how it feels to take Amani. So pretend you're at a sound bath, it's like that feeling of afterwards and during, that's like the kind of bliss and like the stress-free moment. Or if you're in the paint night, it's not having to think about all the BS of the day, and you get to just forget and just be there, meet new people, have some fun. And then it also just brings a lot of content, brings new eyes, and it brings new faces, because some people might be coming for the product, they might be coming for the classes, they might be coming for both, but it's just having more people to kind of engage with and get feedback on immediately. Because what I found different, especially like noticeably different, is on the internet, people can just like say one thing and do the other, but I think you're more likely to get more honest feedback in person. So it's kind of like a marketing strategy that we've had. It's kind of having 3 pillars almost. It's a community, it's like the events, the product itself, and then a bit of education on the social media as we can.
And that's where I really saw you on the feed, because all these community events, mutuals that have went to them and been like, yo, what is this? And I think that's a very unique way of marketing, especially to like start building a brand, thinking community first rather than like almost like customer first. It's like, let's just build the experience versus the product, because you're not necessarily selling the product in these things.
It's normally just like,
it's a correlation that they make automatically.
When people want to buy the product there, they can. We sometimes market it, but I think it's also something fun. It's like you're working so hard on like trying to sell something, and when you're not necessarily seeing the numbers that you want to see yet, it's really satisfying to be able to like at least bring people into a room to actually experience the brand, right? So
how have you seen those events translate over to
it's
product
been good.
sales? And
it's
like
a bit of a slow burn. It's like trying to like follow up with people. Sometimes if we give out like the samples, it's like, are people taking them? What is our follow-up sequence, our email marketing? But what I found very cool is like the number of people that come back to the events and they really feel a part of the brand, and then they end up buying the supplement. And like those people that take the supplement and go to the events, that is like the most proud customer that we have, because like they represent the brand at that point. It's like they like the supplement, they like the events, and they become an advocate. So it works well. We do something too for our subscribers. It's like if they subscribe, they can come to all of our events for free too. So that's like kind of removes some friction for some of the paid events. And then they feel more part of the community. They get immediate access to anything. They don't like, they have priority access too. So we try to make it as like intertwined as possible.
So what is the experience that you get when you take Amani?
Yeah, so I'd say the experience, how I like to describe it, is you become less stressed out. And how I like to describe feeling less stressed out is I'm less reactive to things, in terms of like, if someone says something, I'm less likely to say something back or become like tensed up. I feel much more cognitively there in terms of like, not like coffee. I'd say coffee, you're more like, it's up and then down. This is more of like a long-term, like upward, slow burn with no crash. I'd say it's like less brain fog, less stress, and a bit of like calm clarity.
Is it real?
You tell me. You tell me after you guys try.
Because you mentioned it like you didn't know if it was placebo or if it
Right.
was just the actual supplement themselves.
So when I started taking it, what I felt most was clear-headed. I felt clear-headed, and I just felt a bit more like bliss.
Okay.
I didn't feel like I was like on top of the world. Like I just did, I don't know, like 50 lines of Coke or something. I don't know what it's like to do Coke, but you gotta get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I believe it's real. The claims that we've made are real. We can't claim anything unless it's been through the government.
Of course.
And what people have told me is similar. People say they feel a bit more energized. They feel less stressed out. Because of less stress, they're sleeping better, and they feel like their memory's sharper. So it's nice to hear. Like I don't tell people what they to expect sometimes, and they tell me like certain things. I'm like, you know what? I felt that too, and that's like the cool thing.
What's the biggest hurdle in terms of acquiring a customer or a user that you have to get through? I'm sure there's a level of education.
Yeah.
But like anytime you see a new supplement or a product out there, personally for me, I'm a little hesitant.
Right.
Like, it's like I don't
Yeah.
I don't want to be an early adopter of this.
Yeah.
Right. And until you're over the bell curve and it's well established, let's take it.
Yeah.
So
We're still figuring that out.
Yeah.
It's definitely that in terms of like hesitancy to purchase because of not maybe understanding the product. And I think we need to do a better job on educating, having better trust signals in terms of maybe like having a doctor maybe explain what it is, or having someone looks up to explain what it is. That's a hurdle. People knowing what exactly the overall effect of the supplement is, because it's like 9 separate ingredients. So sometimes our messaging, looking back, it's been a bit confusing. And so we're trying to just make it more to the point and understandable. But I'd say the hesitancy, as is a capsule, people are always they're putting something into their body and it's not something you taste.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. The trust signals, I'd say those are 2 big things. And then like, you're also a new brand. So it's like, no one knows you. No one really wants to try something that they don't see other people taking it. So those are the 3 biggest ones.
Yeah. Is that ever discouraging?
Yeah, I'd say so. Cause like, and you speak like, I'm going to say I have a great product, and I know I have a great product, and I've heard great things, but it's like sometimes I'm like, why aren't people wanting to try it? But it's like either they don't know, or we just haven't done a good enough job sometimes to make the sale. But that's part of the process. And it's like, that's like, if we figure that out, then the money's going to be coming in.
What's a story you have of like building the brand, the first initial, like when you got the packaging or when you decided? Something that's
I've got a couple stories.
Yeah.
A nice one, simple one was, I just remember the feeling we had sent our kind of like product design to a manufacturer for the bottle. And obviously it looks a 3D render, or like something looks way different than how it'll look in person. And like I was in Montreal with my girlfriend at the time, and we were like on a walk to like Value Village or like some secondhand clothing store, and I got a video of it in the person's hand, and I think that was like really cool. But then receiving it and like the whole feeling of idea to like an actual physical product, and you're holding it, it's like, that was insane. It was like, I really just created this from my mind, and like I'm holding like something that no one else has ever had before. I think that was cool. A funny story was we had messed up our manufacturing at one point, like our supply chain, and we had all of because our boxes and bottles are made in different places than our actual product. And so it was arriving in separate locations and couldn't be done at the same time. And so we had to end up like, we had a bunch of boxes just coming, and we had to package it all of ourselves, like count every single capsule. So that was like a big headache. I can do one off the camera. My business partner, him and I became business partners. I asked him at a rave. I was like, Dan, like, I love you, man. I'm like, you should be my business partner. And then I remember I had class the next day at 8 a.m. I got home at like 5.
Yeah.
And I went to class. It was 9 something, not 8. And I was like, what did I do last night? But I remember asking him, and the funny thing was, I did not feel any different about the way I'm like, I still feel the same way. Like, would you want to be my business partner? And that was a cool experience, like having a crazy night like that, and like not very health and wellnessy. And then like the next day, it's like we're business partners now, and that's been really cool. It's been interesting to see how my friendship and relationship has changed with Dan. because like we see each other a lot more than most friends do, just because like you're kind of forced to at this point. But it's been really cool. He's a bit younger than me too, so sometimes I forget he's younger, and I'm like, oh yeah, like it makes sense sometimes. Like, he's a super cool guy.
Kids these days.
Yeah, really, but he's grown so much already, and it's like it's just been cool to have that experience and be able to build alongside someone, because it's not easy regardless. But if you have someone beside you, even just one, it makes things so much more motivating, and it's like you have someone to fall back on. So that's been a good experience.
Yeah.
I think.
What's been the lowest moment through this?
I think the lowest moment was, I remember our launch week. Okay, so we're going to launch week, and I was like, I'm making $10,000 a day. Like, this is easy. And it didn't happen. But the lowest moment was we had hired someone to do our meta ads, and turns out the guy started becoming very unresponsive as we got like a couple days away, and we kind of started freaking out because we'd never done this before, and it was like a big day. And turns out like we launched, and I was looking at like the meta ad thing, and all of like the ads were being redirected to the wrong website. And I'm like, bro, like we're spending money, like, and I'm like, what the? And I'm responding to him, or I'm messaging him, and he's not responding, and that was pretty low. I remember coming back home on like the night that we launched, and my girlfriend had got me like some nice book about like entrepreneurship and something, and she was like saying these nice things, and I literally started crying. I was like, bro, we had like our launch day, and like it did not go as I didn't have a 10K day, and like that sucked, but obviously like that's just how it is. But that was a pretty low point, I think. It's just like you have like high expectations for things, and like it sucks when things don't come as you expect, and you have like people there still supporting you, and like it was nice, but I felt like pretty like just sad, I guess. But,
Yeah.
How did you deal with that?
I'm like, okay, well, I just launched a business anyways. Like, I can't just stop now. Like, I remember, I literally just put this on my Instagram yesterday. I'm launching a business. I can't be like, hey guys, like, so you just stick through it and just figure it out. It was, I feel like with any business, anything in life, like you're gonna have obstacles, and it's like what's the point of quitting it? Like I think this is the fun part, like trying to figure something out. That's what makes it fun. And there's no reward, I think, if there was no struggle. So it's like screw it. Like I get to work with my friend. It can't be that bad. Like it isn't that bad. It's pretty great.
What's moments when you don't make any money, right? Has there been?
Yeah.
I'm sure there has, right?
Yeah.
And you have to prove it to like your parents, for example. All of our parents, I'm an immigrant, and if they'll be, yeah, oh, where were you? They're like, oh, I had two fries. They're like, did you make any money? And I'm like, no. And it's always like the money aspect is the biggest thing because of the security, right?
Yeah.
Was that ever a struggle?
Yeah.
For
yeah, I think sometimes parents don't understand like your dreams, and I think the biggest thing is parents just want the best for you.
Yeah,
that's what it is at the end of the day. And I think I know a ton of friends that have gone on to do great things, and their parents were not or still aren't accepting of it because it's not the traditional route that they know to be successful. And it's not because they don't love them, it's because they love them that they're like this. And my parents have been supportive about it. I don't think they fully understand what I'm trying to do with it, but when the money doesn't come or hasn't come or isn't coming some days, it's like you got to figure out how you're going to get it somehow, because it's like it will become an expensive hobby if not. But especially with the family, it's like my parents are supportive. That's the biggest thing, and I think that helps a lot. But if the money doesn't come, you just got to figure it out. I think if you started a business, you kind of signed up for what are you going to do if this doesn't happen, so you got to thug it out. Yeah,
gotta thug it out.
Yeah,
I like
got
that.
to. Yeah.
What has been the feeling like when you get like the notification of new, the ding, the cha-ching?
It's like Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Every time it happens, if like the notification's on, you hear it. It's like cha-ching.
Yep.
Nothing, like it's just like you could be having a bad day and you hear it and you're just like, oh yeah, it's okay.
Thug it out.
And then what is the logistics behind all of this, like supplying it, packaging, where it comes to your house or wherever it goes? Like, what does that look like?
So it's not too complicated. We have our product, like our boxes and bottles, they come from a separate manufacturer that's out of country. And ideally, they'd be going to our manufacturer in Canada for the actual capsule. But it didn't work out the first time. But it will as we continue. And so that manufacturer sends it to us. And then we kind of put everything together into like actual like shipping boxes. Like not like a brown box basically or a custom box.
Yeah.
And then we print off printing labels and then we just send it through like shop like Canada Express or Federal Express or UPS, whichever one's the cheaper one.
Yeah.
So it's not too hard.
How much time are you spending on that?
It's not that bad. I'd say like as soon as you get it, it's pretty automated. So you get it, you can like click a couple buttons and it'll print it out on a machine for you. You just stick it on and then it just runs the store whenever, like pretend it's like the order comes in today.
Yeah.
Pretend it's going to Markham, Ontario.
Sure.
You could send it out tomorrow or same day. Just stick the label on, just put it there. It's already been like, it has the custom weight, so you don't have to weigh it. You don't have to pay. Shopify would already take the payment, and so you just drop it off. So it's pretty smooth.
Cool. What's the feeling like when it's being sold outside of Winnipeg and going
That's
like different
cool.
places? And
That's the coolest thing is like when someone like you have no idea is getting it. I think that's like pretty neat. It's, like biggest thing I'm like, so what made like why, like how why?
Why?
I remember we emailed someone. This was our first out of province sale, and what's her name? She's from Vancouver. Around 6, we found out like how old she was. She was like around 60 years old, and like she bought it, and we like emailed her. She like got the thank you message, and then we like sent a review, and she didn't respond. I'm like, okay. But we were trying to figure out like who is this person. I remember like trying to search her up. I was like kind of oddly obsessed, just like who is this? And like 2 months passed, and she writes a review. It's like was great. It's like on the website. It's like okay, her name is Jacqueline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jacqueline.
Okay.
Shout out Jacqueline.
Shadow Jacqueline. Yeah.
If you were to do this again and start over, what's the mistake you wouldn't make?
I think it would be researching more about like core problems, like who you're trying to sell to before even making the product. I think that would help. Like I was like, oh, I love this product. But then I originally had an idea to sell it to someone that I didn't necessarily understand. And I think that created some internal confusion on what to be doing. I think if I was to do it again too, it'd probably be to make a simpler product. I think that would be a lot easier. Something that I've thought about and want to do is have something that people can taste. That's like a big thing. Whether it's a drink, something edible, that would be really neat. I don't know how much easier it is to scale. I think we took a somewhat harder route, but also going to the States too would help a lot in terms of just consumerism. But I think it's just actually understanding who you're trying to sell to, what their problems are, what your messaging is going to be, and is this problem actually solving their life? Because we figured that out now, but it created a lot more obstacles along the way. So I would definitely do that over.
What's one thing you learned about packaging? I'm always been curious because anything that you put on it, it has to be factual.
Yeah.
Right? And then that's a liability concern too. So I'm curious, like from a packaging standpoint, it's the first thing that people interact with.
Yeah.
Too.
So what's funny is, so if we look at the product, like you see it, whatever, like it's cool. I was with Dan today and we're like, okay, what do you think like the hardest thing about making this thing was? You tell me.
Probably the box.
Box, okay. What do you think?
Yeah, I was gonna say the box.
You tell me.
I do marketing, and I feel like I know the answer.
What's the
What is
answer?
It's probably has something to do with picking the font and the like design of the graphic itself, or like your logo.
It was close with the font. It was just the label, like the actual like facts, like nutrition supplement facts.
Okay, yeah.
It's like you have to comply with like since it's something edible. It's like man, we could
How
get
many
sued.
calories?
Yeah, we
Like-
could get sued. Like if someone has like an adverse reaction and your medical things aren't right, or like you can actually get in trouble with that. That took the longest, and it was like because we have no idea like how to do that, and you just have to figure that out. And that's like the smallest things too. It's like you said, it's like moving. Do we want to move? Does the logo being like a centimeter up, is that gonna like? You feel like it's gonna be such a difference. Like no one even notices. But I feel like you just sometimes you spend a lot of time on the smallest things. I've heard of like people, they've done like big orders for like the cans.
Yeah.
And they had like a typo in the can, and like you spent like $250,000 on cans.
Yep.
But it's like no one even like, it's funny because like you're stressing over the typo. I was watching a podcast and there was only one person that had mentioned it out of like $250,000 worth of product made.
Yeah.
There was like a typo.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like as long as you're compliant, it's going to be okay. But a lot of like the stress that is made up over things like this is just like, half the time it's not as big as you really make it out to be. It's all in your head.
Yeah. In terms of the box, like I've always been curious about brands or my consumer habits on what boxes I keep and what boxes I don't keep. Because there are definitely things that I've keep. Like I have my iPhone box, but I don't have my toothbrush box. Like what kind of decision making went into like making a box that, because you could make a cheaper box.
Yeah, 100%.
It's probably an expensive box.
Yeah. We just wanted it to have like a luxury feeling. You can still buy at a somewhat affordable price. So that's what we wanted to create, was like a affordable luxury. And I think a lot of it comes down to packaging. We still have a great product, but I do think like having nice packaging really enhances the customer experience. And I think the customer experience, like off rip, if you get something in like a crappy package and you paid a decent amount of money for it, like you're gonna feel a different way than if it's like cool. Like for instance, like iPhone, like you're paying several $100s. It's like better come in a nice box. Like does it matter? No, but it's like it does in the end, I guess. Like
I still have iPhone boxes from like high school. Like I never used them, but they're still there, and I feel weird about throwing them away.
My dad has like the first generation iPod box.
Yeah,
and, like all of it. It's like a wall in the basement. My mom's trying to throw it out like right now.
Yeah,
and my dad's like, no, like
collector's items.
I guess.
No, I don't even know why I have them. Like I never used them, sitting in a cupboard. Like I could throw them out, but I don't.
Resale value?
Like no, it feels like an experience. I'm like, oh, I got this.
I came across my AirPod Max box, and I was like, why do I? Like it's in my room right now on like the counter. I'm like, why do I need this? Like I took out all the cords. I don't know.
Do you want the same kind of feeling for your brand? Like
it'd be nice. I think so. Like people keep the bottle afterwards instead of throw it out. The box is, I think if we could make it so that people could maybe use the box for something else after, that could be something cool. But yeah, especially the bottle.
Is there, I'm sure you probably already thought about this, but like what if they keep the bottle and they could refill it?
We do that, we do that. So subscribers get like refills. We send like a refill pouches basically to them to kind of save down on waste, and then they also can just keep the bottle. So
what's the most scrappiest / innovative thing you've done to market the brand?
I think this wasn't really innovative, but it was scrappy, that's for sure. We entered a pitch competition, and so you're pitching for like $10,000, and there was a section that was also, it was a video pitch competition, and we didn't know about this. Like I guess we just didn't read it properly, and we're like, okay, we need to make a video pitch, and it's in like 7 days. I'm like, shoot, like this is gonna be like, we were focused on like our business plan, the actual presentation. We're like, okay, screw this, like, but you had to submit it. And we had just made an Instagram video for like a pinned post, and we're like, you know what, like I'd asked the guy to do vertical and horizontal, so I'm like, just send in the horizontal one. We ended up winning like money for it. And it's like, it wasn't really innovative, but it was just like scrap. We were just like, screw it. We've had times where it's like stuff just goes wrong like all the time, and you just have to like figure things out. Just talking to like ChatGPT or Claude, or I don't know, like figuring out how to do like Photoshop for like packaging. It's just like most random things. Like you never think like you're gonna have to be doing or spending time on whatever it is, and just random things always come up, and it's just like
where do you see the future for Amani?
I think, well, I know what I feel is it being a brand that people recognize, and we have the events still going on, and it'd be within like 5 years across every single major Canadian city every month. So every month there's going to be an event in Toronto, Montreal, X, Y, and Z. We'd have multiple SKUs for the product as well, and we'd grow into a certain amount of size, annual revenue as well. But
the event side is like a different business as well.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
a lot more work to
yeah,
location. What are we doing? Collaboration, getting people there. Talk me through that process.
it depends on the event. Sometimes it takes a lot longer than you think. Sometimes it's very easy. It depends on if you're having people like partnering or collabing with you. But the events themselves are really fun, and it's just a lot more of just communication, because it's like figuring out the venue that you're going to have, payments, ticketing, marketing for that as well. Completely different than maybe a meta ad or maybe like a product post. Email lists, sending out the emails to people, keeping them updated, follow-ups afterwards, sending names, emails of the people that you're collabing with. Like you're sending, like if we're taking care of like the event ticketing, then we make sure we have to send everything to the other people so they know. Revenue splits if we're doing that. Refunds if people cancel a ticket. It's surprisingly not too hard. It just takes time, and it's like a lot of back and forth, getting like the right venue, planning far ahead. That's a big thing, months ahead typically. That's basically it, I would say. Once the actual event happens, I feel like I'm normally a bit too stressed out, but like it happens pretty seamlessly. It's like people are there, they already know what they're expecting, and it's just like everyone's there to have a good time, and that's what happens every time. So my big thing is like I'm always just on the phone, like try to get the angles of everything. So last event, I had my first experience to be able to just do an event or be a part of it, in a sense of like I was doing the yoga on the rooftop, and that was nice. I was just like I felt like I was just a part of the community in that sense, and that was cool, because that was like our 7th month, I think, and it was our 7th one. I'm like, okay, I told Dan, because sometimes Dan does it. I'm like, okay, I need to. Please let me do this. I'm gonna say I got you. And it was nice. It was refreshing. So,
what's the self-growth journey that you've gone on, whether that's been throughout the business or even basketball? Like, what's one thing you've learned about yourself?
I think I hope it doesn't come off as arrogant, but I would say what I've learned is like, if I'm telling myself I'm going to do it, then I'm actually going to do this thing. I think that's the biggest thing I've learned. And like, it's like the amount of times like I've had to tell myself something and prove that it's true, whether it was working out, whether it was eating to gain weight, whether it was starting the business or studying or making time for friends. It's like there's so many obligations that I have to myself and other people, and it's like you have to affirm yourself so many times and start helping yourself believe that what you're saying is true. So that when I tell myself I'm going to do something, I know I'm going to do it, and not going to kind of quit on it. I think that's the biggest thing, because it's like there's a lot of times where it's difficult, where it's like I just need to like sit down, I need to chill, and that comes eventually. But I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, you're building that undeniable stack of proof that like you are who you say you are, right?
Yeah, I think more so for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've proven yourself right, man.
I hope so. I hope I could look back and be like, okay, I did a good job. Old Cierán, young Cierán.
What about you, like documenting your process, like on social?
Yeah.
Like why is it just so important for you to like build in public?
So when we had first started talking, I think before the cameras were even going, I was saying it was like a full circle.
Yeah.
I started making YouTube videos back in like beginning of university. And the reason I did that was I like to make stuff in general, and the videos, I'd always made them as a way for me to look back at, like when I'm like 70, I want to be able to show my grandkids, like, this was me when I was like 18. This is before I had hair on my face. And I stopped doing that maybe after like probably 4 years ago. And I've recorded things on my camera and I just haven't edited them, or I've edited them not fully and I haven't posted it. And I'm like, every 6 months or so, I'll like look back at old YouTube videos. I'm like, damn, like I miss like being able to look at that. And so I've decided I want to get back into doing that, and I'm going to. And in terms of like social media, in terms of Instagram, I figured making stuff, building in public, it's a somewhat similar way, but it's more so for entertainment for other people. I think it'd be cool to just like have people be able to follow along in the process. Me starting a business, or I was on a cut, so I lost 20 pounds, and people can like follow along with that, or just like see into my life. It's a way for me to kind of express myself creatively as well, and it's fun. It gets difficult because I'm going to post every day, and things come up where you can't, but you have to make it happen. Like today, for instance, I don't have a video and I need to make a video, but it reminds me I need to shoot some B-roll.
Yeah, we got you.
But
We got you, bro.
that's kind of the process. It's just like, it's fun. You get to express yourself. It keeps you always thinking. It keeps you busy. And I think it will help long term to have a personal brand and to help people feel a part of the journey. So,
Would young Cierán be proud?
I think he's like a cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably wouldn't even care. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, he's
The
cool, I guess.
nonchalant dude.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. But I'd hope so.
Yeah.
I think so, though. Yeah, I think so. When I was a bit younger, I used to be really obsessed with like what other people thought, and it'd be like really bad. And I found myself like changing who I was, like a little chameleon, and not in a bad way, but just like wanting to fit in.
Yeah.
And I think that's along this like whole maybe past 5-7 years. That's been the biggest thing. It's like figuring out who I want to be, still figuring that out, but like becoming more comfortable expressing just me, right? And not having to worry about like, if you don't like me, you don't like me. But I think that's what I'd be most proud about.
Yeah, it's deep. I think a lot of people struggle with that. It's like, and they don't really realize until maybe it's too late, or they're at a point where they're so low that, you know, maybe fitting in wasn't the best and I should just focus on myself. And to anyone that's going through that, what do you say? How do you get yourself out of that loop?
It's just, I think you overthink. Everyone overthinks, and like in reality, no one really cares about you. Like, no, not in a bad way. Like, we care about you, but like
You're not the main character.
Yeah. And like once you get past that, obviously you'll still have things like, I still think like, oh, someone doesn't like me, like what the heck, but it doesn't really matter that much. I think that's the biggest thing, and you'll feel a lot better being able to be who you are, and you'll find your group of people that like your true tribe. I feel like you can find those people way better, way faster if you're just you, authentic you.
Agreed.
Is there a side that you don't show the world?
Yeah. Probably when I'm with my girlfriend. Sometimes a bit goofier. Sometimes everyone has their moods, right? But I'd say I'm pretty like, this is me, but sometimes a little crazy.
A little crazy,
but yeah.
The rave
I
side.
guess you'll never know. Yeah.
See you at the rave.
I used to be. I've tamed down a bit. I've become more tamed, but
Grow.
yeah, that's it.
Do you have any piece of advice for the entrepreneurs that are listening to this, or the dream chasers that want to make it or building something? What's your advice?
Just stick with it. I think I was talking to this guy. His name's Chris Schmidt, and yeah, you probably know him.
He's going soon.
He told me, he's like, this game is about who can just stick with it the longest. It's like, and at the end of the day, I think that's really true. I think especially if you haven't seen it yet or seen what you wanted, you just gotta stick with it. And it's like that meme of like the person digging for diamonds at the end of the tunnel and turns around. Keep on digging, you're gonna hit something. So for anyone that's younger too, I think it's just like try new things. Like if you have that idea, just do it. If you're in high school, maybe if you're in university, even younger, just try something new. Make a business out of it if you want. Whether it's just something you want to dabble in, whether it's you want to dance, sing, you want to start an AI company, try it out. Like, nothing bad can come from it. Maybe someone judges you, might be shitty, but screw it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out, brother.
Thank you.
If you haven't already, check Cierán out. And until next time, peace.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a wrap.